Good. Welcome back to the online class. Okay. I welcome you all to the science class. I have written here science subject, you know. So, we will be doing the science class now. You know that we have already started chapter number 1, no, food and digestion. So, we will be doing the same chapter, chapter number 1. Chapter number 1, food and digestion. Food and digestion. I think all of you have your book with you now. Yes. Okay. In the previous class, we have discussed the digestion, no, and the process of digestion, and I have also given you one homework to draw the digestive system, human digestive system. So, just a recap what we have done in the previous class. So, at first digestion, this is from page number 7. I am discussing from page number 7 once again, revision work we are doing digestion. Okay. See here digestion, in digestion we have learned that what is digestion. I have told you what is digestion. Digestion is a process in which the food we eat is broken down into simple and soluble substances that are absorbed by the body. So, we have learned this one. You will also learn this one, very important, digestion. Okay. So, digestion is a process in which the food we eat is broken down into simple and soluble substances that are absorbed by the body. Then we have learned the process of digestion. First of all, the different organs related with the human digestive system. The main organs are the mouth, food pipe or esophagus, it is also called esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and the other helping organs or accessory organs with it are liver, pancreas. So, what happens here? You know that we have learned also in the previous class. I have explained you that we are taking the food in our mouth with the help of our fingers or the hand. Okay, we are putting the food in the mouth. Then what happened there? The teeth present in the mouth, they chew and grind the food. This food mixes with the saliva. This saliva breaks the food, the starch of the food, basically the starch of the food into simple sugar, and also makes the food soft. Then what happens? When the food becomes soft, this food goes to the stomach through the food pipe or esophagus. Then in the stomach, the food is churned and mixed with digestive juices. Digestive juices present in the stomach helps to break down the food into simple and soluble form. Then after the food is broken into simple and soluble form, this food goes to the small intestine for the complete digestion. So, what happens there? In the small intestine, digestive juices is present there, along with it the liver, it produces bile that helps to digest the fats in the small intestine, goes to the small intestine there. Then from the pancreas, pancreatic juice which helps in to digest the carbohydrate, fats and proteins in the small intestine, it goes to the small intestine. Here the different juices mixes up with the food, then this food digestion of the food is completed there. So, the process of digestion completes in the small intestine and food is absorbed in the blood. Most probably the nutrients, different nutrients, carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, these are absorbed in the blood and these are distributed to different parts. Then not all the food is digested, some undigested food is there. This undigested food goes to the large intestine, where the water from the undigested food is absorbed, and then it forms the feces. Feces means semi-solid waste that goes out through our body in the morning. So, this undigested semi-solid waste is passed out through our body from the anus. So, undigested feces, this semi-solid waste goes to the anus. There, from the anus it goes through our body as stool. Okay. So, the process of digestion completes in this way. So, you should remember here the different organs are, you remember, and the process of digestion and what is digestion is important. Then we have also learned junk food. In the previous class we have learned the junk food, that we are this junk food very tasty to eat. We all like this junk food, no, so much. We like to eat this chow-mein, Maggies, this pizzas, cake, then burger, all these things we like to eat so much, but it is not so good for us, because you know these are tasty food but are unhealthy for us, because they contain too much of fats and sugar. So, we should avoid to take so much junk food. Okay. Now, we will turn to the next page, page number 8 now. So, today's topic is this good eating habits. We will be starting from good eating habits for proper digestion. Okay. I am talking about page number 8. All of you will follow page number 8 now. So, good eating habits for proper digestion. See here, number 1, always take your meals. Always take your meals at in a pleasant environment. Always take your meals in a pleasant environment. Yes, where you are taking your meals, where eating your meals, suppose lunch or dinner, anything, any food you are eating, the place should be very hygienic one, and there should not be any dust or insects should be there. So, it should be hygienic, it should be pleasant one. Number 2, eat at regular intervals of time. So, you will eat food at regular intervals of time. Suppose you are eating in the morning time, you are eating breakfast, in the noon time you are eating the lunch, evening time you are taking the supper, and in the night time you are taking the dinner. You will eat at regular intervals. Number 3, chew the food well before swallowing. You should chew the food well with your teeth. You do not swallow the food. Okay. Number 4, eat a lot of green vegetables and fruits. You should eat a lot of green vegetables and fruit. This is very good for your body, for makes your body healthy one, and your eyes also remain healthy. Okay. Number 5, eat a balanced diet. We should eat a balanced diet. You know, balanced diet means you are taking all the different quantities of food, different nutrients of the food in proper amount, along with it roughage and water. Okay. Then number 6, eat fresh and healthy food. We should eat fresh food. Number 7, drink 8 to 10 glasses of water every day, because water helps to digest the food properly. Then number 8, avoid overeating. You should not eat too much. What your stomach can hold, you will eat that quantity of food. Okay. Now, cooking food. Next is cooking food. This is the same page, page number 8 there. See here, other than fruits and some vegetables, most of the food items are cooked before eating. So, other than fruits and vegetables, most of the food items are cooked before eating. You know, fruits are not cooked, most of the vegetables are cooked. Some vegetables are also not cooked, they can be eaten raw also. See, food can be cooked by boiling, frying, roasting, baking or steaming. So, different methods of cooking. Here we are learning the different methods of cooking. You can underline there, very important. Number 1, boiling. Number 2, frying. Number 3, roasting. Number 4, baking or steaming. Okay, these are the different methods of cooking: boiling, frying, roasting, baking or steaming. You can underline there, very important. Now, we cook food because it makes the food tasty. Number 2, makes the food soft and easy to digest and kill the germs present in the food. Then a question is there. You can write the question at the side in the white portion. You can write the question. Why should we cook food? Why should we cook food? We should cook food because cooking makes the food tasty. Number 2, cooking makes the food soft and easy to digest, and cooking kills the germs present in the food. Okay. Now, there is one MCQ. We will solve that one also. You will answer one by one. Number 1, page number 8. All of you will following page number 8. Okay. Number 1, digestion of food completes in small intestine, large intestine, stomach. So, what is the correct option? Yes, it is small intestine. This is the correct answer. Next, number 2, junk foods contain too much fats, proteins, minerals. What is the correct answer? Junk food contains too much fats. Okay. So, yes, very good. All of you are giving you the answer, correct answer. Okay. Now, I will rub the board now. We will learn the next topic, that is food preservation. Food preservation. Food preservation, same page, page number 8. See here, all food items get spoiled at room temperature after some time. So, when you are keeping the food in the room temperature for a long time, your food gets spoiled. Such food produce foul smell and are not good for our health. So, for long use, we preserve the food items. So, for long use of the food item, we should preserve the food items. The process by which we can prevent the food items from getting spoiled for a long time is called food preservation. So, here the question comes, what is, you can write the question in the book with the pencil, what is food preservation? What is food preservation? See here, the process by which we can prevent the food items from getting spoiled for a long time is called food preservation. Okay, this answer you can underline here, very important. Now, ways of food preservation. Ways of food preservation. See here, number 1, refrigeration and deep freezing. Ways of food preservation. Number 1, refrigeration and deep freezing. See here, refrigerator cools down the food to a very low temperature and deep freezer freezes the food. You know, refrigerator or freeze, we are commonly called it freeze. So, this we are keeping the food in the freeze or refrigerator. So, refrigerator cools down the food to a very low temperature and deep freezer in the freeze in the refrigerator that freezes the food. So, both cooling and freezing preserve the food by slowing down the growth of microbes. So, both cooling and freezing preserve the food by slowing down the growth of microbes. Okay. Next, number 2 way is bottling. Bottling and canning. Bottling and canning. Number second method of food preservation is bottling and canning. Food is sealed in bottles and cans after killing germs. So, after killing germs, food is sealed in bottles and cans. You know, sauce, tomato sauce or chili sauce we are getting in the market in the bottle, glass bottle that made of glass, bottle made of glass. This does not allow the growth of microbes for a long time till the cans or bottles are opened. Okay. Now, we will turn to next page. This is page number 9. All of you open page number 9 also, turn to next page. Number third method of food preservation, it is drying. Drying. Let us see, food is dried by removing all water content from it. So, after removing all the water from the food, food is dried. So, food is dried by removing all the water content from it. This prevents the food from getting spoiled. Okay. Number fourth method, it is pickling and jellying. Pickling and jellying. Pickles, you know, that we called it achar. Okay. Jams and jellies we like to take with the bread, no, very tasty. So, salt and oil in pickles and sugar in jams and jellies act as preservatives. So, these items in the food, this salt and oil, this sugar in the jams and jellies, they act as preservatives. They help to preserve the food for a long time. They prevent the growth of microbes for a long time. So, these are the different methods of food preservation. They are refrigeration and deep freezing. Number 2 is bottling and canning. Number 3 is drying. Number 4 is pickling and jellying. Okay. So, students, we have completed our chapter. So, now there is keywords. We learn these keywords, you know. Keywords we learn as one word answer. I will write here. Keywords. Okay. Keywords, you at the end of the chapter there is keywords you learn as one word answer. Page number, same page, page number 9. Suppose this is given as one word answer. Suppose I tell you substances needed by a body for good health and growth. This is nutrients. Or I can write a process in which food is broken down into simple and soluble substances that are absorbed by the body. It is digestion. So, okay students, today up to this much we have done. Actually we have completed the chapter very well now. So, next day we will be doing the exercise of the chapter next class. So, till then goodbye to everyone and thank you.